Tippy time, my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm revisiting Strand and Suspension as Starcrossed is done and dusted. I've got two builds I want to share with you. I had planned three, but the Warlock sucked balls, so we had the Bow Review, Titan and Hunter builds. These will be segmented in the timeline below. Hit that thumbs if you care to. That said, first we take a look at the Wishkeeper. Fully unlocked, we have that intrinsic trait, Snare Weaver 4. Precision hits and final blows build energy towards a Snare Weaver arrow. Once we max this out at 6, we hit fire out to the ground. This lays a trap to snare troop movements or enemy spawns. If you direct hit, this will suspend singularly. This bow works best if you're at elevation. 6 charges may sound like a lot. However, say you one-shot crit kill targets, this is only 3 targets till you got a suspension net. In GMs, it'll generally take 2 shots to kill, so that's 4 shots across those enemies to make your trap. To make this comfortable to use in a range of encounters, I first selected Elastic String. This does decrease your accuracy, but being a precision bow, you're good. I want that 6-12 draw time, and that handling bonus is welcomed. Whenever using a bow, regardless of PvE or PvP, I would always recommend using a loader and a dexterity mod on your gauntlets, particularly if this is your one and only primary weapon. Compact arrow shaft increases our handling and our reload speed for better knocks. We also have grips. I like it textured. This gives us a total of 94 handling. I'm comfortable losing some stability as it already has a stability masterwork. Its perk multi-threaded snare refit is really unwarranted in my opinion. Trapping more targets sounds good, yes, but at base suspension only lasts 5 seconds, so you're not really going to have the time to kill them all, especially if you plan on doing so with your bow. I like Vorpal as I want this bow for harder content. We got Unstop Bow for the foreseeable future, so I wanted to slap. A standard crit does 12.1k. Vorpal has a 20% damage increase on primary weapons. This pushes it to 14.5k. Silkbound Slayer boasts this even higher as we deal more damage to suspended targets. This is a 50% damage bonus for a value of 21.8 thousand. And we're giving a faster draw time against suspended targets. But this week we got Hatchling, get a precision kill, spawn a Threadling. I like Threadlings, but the moment I had this equipped on the bow, it just felt really weak sauce. Even with that 25% strand surge, I just didn't feel like I was hurting them. I'm going Vorpal weapon all day. We got Horde Shuttle and Unraveling Orbs in the artifact this season, so you're going to have plenty of Threadlings and that green mist at your disposal. My Titan is rocking the Abeyant Leap as I really want to utilize the Dranger's Lash aspect. Activate our class ability, we send out a ripple that suspends targets. I would recommend using the Rally Barricade. Firstly, I want to be able to shoot at what I suspend, and 2, it's got a quicker cooldown for more suspension uptime. This exotic does 2 things for us. It spawns 2 additional projectiles, so we'll be suspending a lot more targets. These also seek more aggressively and travel faster. And most importantly, upon suspending, we gain Woven Mail. It took a hit recently going from 55 damage resist to 45, but I'm telling you right now, is still plenty strong. Particularly when you consider that suspension from any source. I'm running the Shackle Grenade, and I would really recommend running the Thread of Continuity. Our suspension, unravel, and server effects applied to targets have an increased duration. At base, our suspension is 5 seconds. This will now be pushed up to 7 seconds. And yes, this does include our Snare Weaver's traps. Thread of Mind, defeating suspended targets grants us class ability energy. This gives us easy 10-second barricades. Woven Mail runs for 10 seconds, so now we can continue this loop easily, and thanks to our bow, we can charge this from afar. Wisdom makes us Orbs of Power when we defeat suspended targets. Orbs of Power will give me healing on recuperation, and I got that backup DR with emergency reinforcement. You don't need Banner of War. I've been using the Fletchered Storm. Unraveling Particles devour all, particularly on targets that we had suspended up in those GIMP chains. I'm not really getting into too many fistfights with this build, so this range melee is a great option. I'd recommend solar LNGs. I've been using the Unwavering Duty with Cascade Point, so I can just throw out damage when I need to. It pairs well with Flint Striker, giving us radiant on precision hits, and Kindling Trigger scorches whilst radiant. Scorching is going to aggravate those unraveling particles to create that green mist. I like Threaded Binding, but for your fourth fragment it's a bit of a free choice. But Binding is really great as it allows us to attack one single target whilst in our super, whilst everything else around us is suspended. Feel free to pause here for my mods, fragments and aspects. There will be a dim link in the description below. For my hunter, my first thought was to run the Oath Keepers. However, I wanted to utilize the Ensnaring Slam aspect. This gives us that large suspension bloom whilst using our class ability in the air. I like this aspect as it allows me to play slightly more aggressive than the Titan. I found it works particularly well in activities with lots of unstops, so I decided to use the Sixth Coyote chest exotic. This is going to give me 2 dodge charges vis-a-vis 2 suspension dives. In this week's GM we're trapped in a cube with a phase shifty immunity glutton of a monster, but with the Sixth Coyote, the trapped become the trappers. GMs normally force you to play at range, but with this build, the closer you are, the deadlier you get. I'm running fairly similar fragments to our Titan. I'm again running the Shackle Grenade. This is primarily used for when you need immediate effect for those enemy troops that are moving close to you. Continuity extends our toys. Threat of Mind gives me that 8-second cooldown on my class abilities. Wisdom is going to give me those orbs on suspension kills. Our fourth fragment is different though, as our hunter doesn't inherently use Woven Mail. For that, we require Thread of Warding. Orbs of Power give us Woven Mail. Luckily for us, with our suspension loop, orbs are not hard to come by. Whirling Maelstrom may have been super strong last season, but trust, this giant Beyblade still pushes out over 100k in damage, and it works great whether you're attacking a single target or hordes of enemies. Give the Dragon Cult Citadel a try. It actually worked quite well for both close and mid-range. Slice made it a lot safer to engage targets, and being a caster frame, I could decimate suspended targets from afar. However, ammo econ wasn't the most optimal, so I tried to Thren Precipice. I never thought I would be using this in a GM, but it actually worked quite well. Relentless Strikes gave me back ammo, which helped my ammo econ, and Chain Reaction allowed me to wipe out multiple targets at once with just one swipe of the blade. There is a dim link for my hunter build in the description below. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. I really thought the Wishkeeper would work well with the Warlock, but when I was investing in suspension, I lost the ability to defend at close range. But both the Titan and the Hunter played the Wishkeeper like a fiddle. Make sure to thumb it if you liked it, sub if you're new, and until next time, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.
But above everything, he's the most tip-top.